I would say to people out there who've been kind of kicking the idea around or thinking about different ways they can protect their nest egg, protect themselves, protect their survival during this inflation. How could we survive financially? How could we protect ourselves from a bank hack or the government looking at every single transaction that we do in and out of our bank accounts? The easy answer to that: diversify with some physical gold and silver today.
This is the Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Kenneth Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Deno. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group, and his peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome. Good to be with you again.
Nice to always be with you, Dave, and privileged to have an audience to talk to.
Ken, our topic today is the advantage of owning gold. And regular listeners to the program, they might accuse us of doom and gloom on a weekly basis, but our realistic views of the economy, they simply highlight the doom and gloom being caused by others who control our money supply and our financial worth. Today, however, we're going to let gold sparkle and speak for itself. But first, I do want your comment on one financial article I came across this week as the stock market almost made us, well, you might say, seasick with its up and down movement. The article was headlined, "The Fed was probably wrong on inflation, and one of its presidents has 4 reasons why." It quoted Mary Daly, president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco, and she said, "I was one of those individuals who thought that we would find ourselves with lower inflation in 2022 than we are going to ultimately end up having. And so I've asked myself, where did I get this wrong? What was it that I expected that didn't occur?" What do you think?
Well, we didn't get it wrong, Dave. Maybe the Federal Reserve has a spot open for nice high salary for two strapping young gentlemen, but and it's just more of the same. I mean, I saw this article too,
Hmm.
Dave, and her conclusions are very telling as to the so-called wisdom of those who control our money supply. And that's what everybody should be thinking about out there. Who is making these decisions? Who's controlling our money supply? And she actually cited 4 factors. She said that the vaccine uptake wasn't as strong as expected, and fewer than expected Americans got the vaccine. So COVID, Dave, of course, has hung on much longer than anticipated, and let's just lean on the COVID excuse to affect our economy.
Mm-hmm.
She also said kids and parents had to juggle remote and hybrid school schedules, which meant that the labor supply was impacted and that the family income was affected. She also said supply chain issues still aren't resolved, even after government pressure to get more, goods moving. I thought they had like a supply chain commission or something that they had put together that was going to clear everything up. Well, I guess that didn't work either, huh, Dave? But
Yeah.
the supply chain issue went all the way back to the most essential manufacturing problem that caused COVID manpower shortages. And top of the shortage of goods, we saw a pent up unexpected high consumer demand, Miss Daly said, and that also drove up prices. The new car market is a good example, as there was a shortage of computer chips that are used in new cars. So suppliers were drastically limited, causing new car prices to be at or over the MSRP. Where is the mention in all of this of the enormous stimulus, the exorbitant spending, the enormous debt that's out there that will eventually implode, and the reckless money printing that these drunken sailors have been doing for decades. So the moral of the story, Dave, is the Fed, like a lot of the other people out there calling the shots, they are not all knowing and they are not all wise.
And they were supposed to be the so-called high and mighty experts in this whole area. They were supposed to be able to control our economy. I saw today an article also just today saying that rising inflation has outpaced wages, and that is very painful for American workers. That's according to a leading economist. Think about that. Inflation is outpacing wages. So American workers have actually, even though they may have gotten raises because of the shortage of labor supply, they're still losing money.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's been a theme for a long, long time, Dave. I know that we're just kind of highlighting it now, but the cost of living has outpaced the increase in wages for a very long time, and now it's just more front and center. So I don't think that they understand what could really happen here and how how to control that it could actually and will get. We saw a very similar period in the early 70s where inflation was talked about and a little bit of a problem, and then the same rhetoric, well, it's going to be okay, it's going to go away, blah blah blah. And then from about 1974 to the end of the 79 to 80, it just went off the charts. And we're approaching and eclipsing those levels. And I'll be honest with you, it's very scary to think about our situation and our money, considering I really don't think that the leaders that are calling the shots have any idea where this is going or what to do about it.
A reminder here, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and our topic today is the advantage of owning gold. So, Ken, let's turn our attention now to what I said earlier is the sparkle of gold, and I might add the stability of gold. Full disclosure here, I am a gold owner from Midas Gold Group, and I got to tell you, it gives me a sense of real financial security. So let's start with the most obvious question. What is the advantage of owning gold compared to having cash in the bank?
You're looking for something that's solid, something that's strong, something that's going to hold your purchasing power, which is the exact opposite of what your cash is going to do in the bank, Dave. You need money for emergencies and you need money for living expenses. So a little cash is, always needed. But if you're looking for something that is going to lose its value, and if you're going to look for something that is not really safe, and if you're looking for something that's not private, then hold the cash, in the bank. I mean, that's its role at this point. There's no return on it. It's a very bad investment, and based on the last decades, it will not keep up with the cost of living. So, cash in the bank, bad situation, Dave.
Okay, I see that the value of the dollar has declined greatly in, well, let's say the last 20 years, just as an example. How does owning gold compare to putting your savings into maybe stocks and bonds?
There's a time and place for everything. And bonds for the last 40 years have been, a great investment as interest rates have been kept abnormally low. That's changing. I don't know if people have seen mortgage rates in the last month. They've gone from about 3.5% to almost 5%. That's a big move. And like I said, I don't think that they have this situation wrapped up at all. So we're going to see more interest rate increases, which is very bad for stocks. We're going to see more interest rate increases, which is also very bad for the price of bonds, which is an inverse relationship. And I would say if you're looking for something that does very well when those other markets do very poorly, gold has a long track record of doing just that.
One more so-called smart money investment choice, commercial real estate. Now, this used to be considered one of the most stable ways to invest and grow your wealth. Now, though, how does that compare to owning gold?
Well, once again, a lot of questions there, Dave. And I think gold is, pretty straightforward, for people that are looking for a reliable, tangible asset that has always been looked at as money and has held its purchasing power. gold has a long track record of doing that. Now, drive around town. There's a lot of empty commercial real estate, buildings out there. That's got to be resolved somehow. I've read articles, and we've gone over here on the show, that in some major cities, it could be 25 to 30 to 35% vacancies in a lot of these commercial buildings. So somebody's going to be left holding the bag. And I guess the role of gold is for that part of your portfolio where you want to be bulletproof. You want it to be a situation where you're not holding the bag. And the point is, Dave, with all the risks that's going on today, it would make zero sense to speculate with 100% of your money in these risky assets, which today, based on the situation, are very risky. So with that much risk going on, you need that much more safety. And that would be the main advantage of physical gold.
Lastly, all of those previous financial vehicles can be seen. They can be seen by the government. They can be tracked. There is no financial privacy with cash in the bank or with Wall Street accounts or with real estate investments. But gold is private, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. Financial assets at the bank or Wall Street, stock brokerage accounts, even real estate investments are all part of the banking system. What's very important is that we want people to have true wealth preservation through the ownership of precious metals. That's what the title is of this, program, what you talk about at the beginning. So gold is private, and it's, in our opinion, necessary as our privacy and our financial freedoms, David, are diminishing, if not gone. And we want people to take some money out of the banking system, out of the financial markets, and out of the paper markets, not only to lower risk, but to hold on to that last bit of financial privacy that we still have left. So gold, physical gold, is very private, not gold mining shares, not gold ETFs, not gold mutual funds. The old-fashioned, shiny, heavy stuff that you could hold on to yourself is very private. And we believe, Dave, at this time, every single American should have a significant portion of their non-living expense paper assets invested in gold right now, not only for privacy, but also for safety.
Yeah, I like to call it gold you can hold, and it's very reassuring. And a reminder here that you are listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group. And our topic today is the advantage of owning gold. And I have some more questions coming up, but first, in a few moments, we're going to take a look at a specific gold product that can add to your secure wealth, and that's coming up right after this.
Your wake-up call from veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. You've seen it in the news. Truckers and even their smallest supporters are being targeted. Bank accounts closed. They rescinded the order under pressure, but it demonstrates just how quickly it can happen. Now you understand all the talk about getting everyone on digital currency. It's the ultimate power trip and control over you. With this tool, they will be able to easily extinguish the freedoms of anyone who disagrees with them. Democrats in the U.S. approve of Trudeau's protest suppression nearly 4-1. It's not hard to speculate they would support the same thing here. Gold and other precious metals add a layer of privacy and protection to your finances. Get private. Get protected. Get on the phone and call Midas Gold Group now. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno. Our topic today is the advantage of owning gold. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, that's MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. Ken, Now we turn to look at a specific gold product. And today, I'd like to talk about a gold product that truly sparkles. It is one that I have in my collection, and I never cease to be amazed at how it dazzles. It's the gold Vienna Philharmonic. Tell us about it.
Well, I know this is a portion of the show, Dave, that you really enjoy, but you certainly do have a good eye for beautiful gold coins, and many others, I'm sure, would agree with you. The Austrian Philharmonic or the Vienna Philharmonic gold bullion coin was the most popular gold coin in the 1990s and is still among the world's best sellers, Dave. This gold coin is one of the rare and truly classic offerings that will simply never go out of style. But a bit of caution here, the gold Philharmonic may not be available for long, Dave. The demand is strong, the supply is tight. Its market popularity is, if any is any indication of this, we'll have to see how the supply is of many of these different products. Don't forget, you can't print gold and gold coins out of thin air like you can paper money, Dave. So that's always an issue, especially in this day and age.
Ken, as you hold one there, can you maybe give us a word picture of what it actually looks like?
Yeah, sure, Dave. The gold Vienna Philharmonic contains a full ounce of pure 24 karat gold. So for folks listening out there, that means that the coin is 4 nines pure, 0.9999. And it's backed by the Austrian Mint, which is very reliable. And the Austrian Mint is a government mint. So in this particular instance, this is a coin that's minted by a government entity. And that's the difference between something like a bar that could be produced by a private entity for those listening. Now, the obverse of the coins, Dave, or the head side, depicts the iconic pipe organ from the famous Vienna Philharmonic's concert hall in Vienna. And the reverse side sports a kind of bouquet arrangement of classical instruments, 4 violins, a cello, a bassoon, and a harp, all honed with crisp and satisfying detail with a lot of style. It's a great coin, Dave. It's very different, and I know you love yours.
Is the gold Philharmonic, Vienna Philharmonic, is it eligible for a gold IRA?
Yeah, I'm happy to say it is, Dave. It does qualify for a gold IRA, and in such a dangerous market, it's proven to be a staple for bullion enthusiasts across the globe to strengthen your portfolio. And as always, Dave, Midas Gold Group is more than happy to advise and suggest to prospective buyers on whether this coin is right for, not only their collection, but for their legacy, their nest egg, and to give them the benefits of gold, which they're looking to protect, their purchasing power going forward. And the Vienna Philharmonic fits the bill.
Again, coming up in a moment, I want to talk more about the advantages of owning gold, and that's coming up right after this.
Venezuela's inflation was off the charts. People could not afford food, medicine. Socialism collapsed, and so did the economy. The Federal Reserve's modern monetary theory and political policies have America on the same path. Debt is historic, with $125 trillion lent to banks with no way to pay it back. The need for financial diversification in the form of gold and silver is becoming stronger than ever. Federal and state governments are expanding their level of oversight into all aspects of our lives, including our finances. This is not a drill. It's time to call Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Deno, and our topic today is the advantage of owning gold. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, that's 855-322-4653. Now, back to our topic of the advantages of owning gold. Ken, there are a lot of ways to buy gold, But you believe that actually owning the gold, that is, gold you can hold, is the best way to add financial security to your wealth. Why is that? What is the advantage over the so-called other means of owning gold?
Well, that's a very important question, Dave, and a theme that we continuously talk about. We believe there's no other way to own gold for wealth preservation than in the actual tangible form of coins or bars. We don't want people to think gold should be a paper asset. There's more to gold than just the price of gold. It's a store of value. It's money. It could be used for spending or bartering, but it's something that you could leave that will always have value. So, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And for true wealth preservation, for true diversification, for a true protection against banking risk and financial crisis risk and political risk, the only way to do it is with the tangible product of gold bars and coins and silver bars and coins. So one of the advantages is very important is also privacy. And whenever you have stuff that's not connected to the system, you have that privacy and that freedom that gold still gives investors.
I have to say that every time I add a new gold coin or a gold bar to my collection, I'm amazed at the beauty of gold. I mean, there's just no other metal that I would prefer. And I'm not some old King Cole, just enamored with counting all his money. It is simply reassuring, I've got to say, to know for my family's financial security that I actually own a portion of the world's true wealth. And you have a lot of people like me as customers, don't you, Ken? Average, everyday working people.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire to diversify and to own gold. A gram of gold is a little bit more than $80. So, like I said before, every single American at this point should have financial privacy and financial freedom to a degree, and they should have a portion of their paper assets right now diversified in physical gold and silver. So the advantages of owning gold. Well, throughout time and throughout history, Dave, it can get you out of a bad situation. It will help you sidestep a financial crisis. And let's not forget, a financial crisis is quickly coming upon us, and it could arrive at any time. So I would say to people out there who've been kind of kicking the idea around or thinking about different ways they can protect their nest egg, protect themselves, protect their survival during this inflation. How could we survive financially? How could we protect ourselves from a bank hack or the government looking at every single transaction that we do in and out of our bank accounts? The easy answer to that: diversify with some physical gold and silver today.
And that is why I have to say I own gold from the Midas Gold Group. So, Ken, thank you. Thank you so much for all of that. A reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, and this is what we've been talking about here in the last part of our program, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. The Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, the number to call to speak directly with Midas Gold Group is 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you as always for your time again today.
Yeah, thanks for your time, Dave. It was a good discussion, and look forward to doing it again real soon.
Each and every week, and I love getting together with you. I'm Dave Deno, and I hope you'll join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.